So we've been using patterns for a long time in historical civilizations. They've used pattern to help them with things like navigation. So the Aboriginal of Australia, they're pretty famous for artwork. And for us, maybe if we just looked at their artworks, oh, it's some pretty squiggles. Yeah, that looks cool, but no real significance. But for them, often what they would have is an art, and they would have a key to unlock the art in a song. So you'd need to know the song and have the art, and that would be together would be a roadmap. You know, how to cross a desert per se. You know, Australia is a big dry desert in large areas. So if you don't know where the water is, you know, to be able to go across these large amounts of land, you're not going to make it to the other side. Quite simple. So they developed, they also talk about song lines as well, which is another thing. But the idea that they could have ways to use patterns and, you know, song to then create navigational maps. Pretty cool. Yeah. And who else? So next to the Australians are the Maori. Okay. So what do we know about Maoris? Pretty much nothing. Okay.
They have a big connection with Wales.
They
They
have
have a very deep spiritual connection with Wales.
Okay.
That's what I know.
The ritual dance.
Okay, they have
which
the haka.
Like the haka during different rite passages.
Okay,
They use
perfect.
And they,
Yeah.
they like patterns a lot.
They like patterns. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of patterns do you see on their bodies?
Spirals?
Spirals.
Maybe.
Okay. Let's call it tattoos.
Tattoos.
Okay.
These tattoos.
Yeah.
They have the Maori tattoos, the tribal tattoos. Okay. And they're pretty famous for these tattoos. So think about the Maori, Polynesians. It's a lot of islands that they would have to navigate. And if you're in a canoe, these are big, strong guys because over the years they were hand paddling canoes, right? So they became very strong individuals, and they still have the genetics to be strong individuals. But they didn't have GPS. This is before your smartphone existed. Imagine. So you had to have other kind of forms of navigation, and so what they did to help themselves would be to use tattoos. Now it's not like a cheat sheet. You go into the exam, you've got all the answers written on your wrist. It's not like that. It's a little bit more intense. So you're having this tattoo done, and I don't know if anyone's had a tattoo done. I haven't, but I understand it's quite painful. And this is the traditional way of doing tattoos, which is another level of pain. Okay, so imagine this: your grandma is singing a song which will help you to navigate across the seas, because she's telling you, this song that's been passed down from generation to generation, and at the same time you're being tattooed by your old man, and it's a pretty painful experience. So then when you're lost at sea, you're like, oh crikey, how do I get home again? And then you touch your nose, it was a particularly painful tattoo, and then there's a memory associated with the pain which brings back your grandma's voice telling you, look out for da 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 da. And you go, oh yeah, look, there it is, that's the way home. Okay, so that's the way that they use pattern to help navigate. Okay, there's, even in modern nursery rhymes, we've got hidden messages actually. So I don't know if all of you are going to be familiar, but Alex, you will be. So Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And there's a second verse. Basically, they put a brown paper bag and vinegar on Jack's head. And you think, well, why would he do that? Well, basically, the idea is that this guy just hit his head. Now he's got a headache. So now they're putting vinegar in brown paper, okay, which the vinegar is going to evaporate, Now, some of you have done this class with me. Evaporation cools. So if you've got a cooling effect, your headache goes down. Okay, so just a little hidden message. Okay, and there's another great example, and this is a great one for Trivial Pursuit. Okay, you know the game Trivial Pursuit. So the cheese question. Okay, how many meters in a mile? How many meters in a mile? You know there's miles, right? In the UK, America, we use miles.
1600.
1600, says Alex, who is a British citizen who uses this, yeah? Okay, so let's take it back. A kilometer is easy, right? How many miles in a kilometer? How many meters in a kilometer? 1,000, right? Easy peasy. Okay. So it's not how many meters, how many feet in a mile.
Oh, wow,
I've been misleading you. It's how many feet in a mile. Alex?
4,000.
4,000, she says. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you an easy way to remember this. Okay. So let's say you go to work at 8 o'clock every day. Okay, and you look at your watch. 5 to 8, oh, I will be late. 5 to 8, oh, I will be late. So 5, 2, 8, oh, 5,280 feet in a mile.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
It's that little simple, catchy phrase that'll probably stay with you, and you'll get the cheese next time you play Trivial Pursuit.
Thank you very much.
There's these little things, right? These
We'll
patterns,
pub
right?
quiz.
That we can use to help us to remember information.